It's a dreary, rainy day in London. You're walking along a crowded street when suddenly you hear footsteps behind you. You turn around and see no one. At least that's how many people remember the last time they saw a missing person, Maura Murray. On February 9th, 2004, 21-year-old Murray was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts. However, she had been suspended due to poor grades and an ongoing investigation regarding her prescription pills. Despite this, she drove across New Hampshire to visit her professors and ask for a second chance. Along the way, she crashed her car, though the details surrounding this crash are hazy. Some believe she fell asleep behind the wheel. Others believe she was distracted by a phone call. She totaled her car, but not so badly that she couldn't continue driving. And this is where things get confusing, because surveillance footage and witness statements show that she traveled 84 miles after her accident. But how? Her leg was broken. She was bleeding and in shock. People saw her staggering around and even changing cars. How could she do all of this? And what happened to her after that? In Wakefield, New Hampshire, about 70 miles from the crash site, a resident discovered Murray's abandoned car. She had somehow driven more than 60 miles with a broken leg. The side airbags had deployed and the windshield was covered in glass. From the looks of it, she should have been seriously injured. And yet, there was no sign of her anywhere. But police did find something strange. A blanket, a pair of reading glasses, and a pair of sunglasses were still inside the vehicle, but her purse, cell phone, and shoes were missing. And although the car was registered to her, police found out that she had taken out a loan to buy it, and it was repossessed 2 days prior to the incident. But that wasn't the only debt she had. She had also borrowed money from friends and family members and hadn't paid them back. At the time of her disappearance, Murray was facing financial problems, but her relatives insist that these weren't serious enough to cause her to vanish. She may have been stressed, but there's no way she would have hurt herself. Or was there? This is when the rumors began to spread. Some believe that Maurice faked her own death and started a new life somewhere. Why else would she abandon her car and possessions? Others believe that she had been kidnapped by a stranger. There was no evidence either way. And that's when the footage from the gas station came out. It shows her leaving a crashed car and wandering into a nearby gas station. Here, a clerk gave her water and waited for her to calm down. All the while, she's holding a stuffed animal. But the next time we see her, the stuffed animal is gone. Where did it go? And why was she clutching it in the first place? Her behavior was so bizarre that investigators struggled to put together a timeline of events. What we do know is that the night of her disappearance, she was spotted in Haverhill, Massachusetts, near a tavern frequented by bikers. She was never seen again. For the past 18 years, detectives have pursued hundreds of leads regarding Murray's whereabouts, but none have panned out. In fact, they have found any evidence since 2004. The strangest part is that it seems like she vanished into thin air. A girl who was visibly injured and disoriented managed to travel dozens of miles and no one knows how. Did she hitchhike? Who gave her a ride? How did she manage to walk into a tavern without anyone noticing that she was missing? As you can see, there are a lot of unknowns and a lot of theories. Now, if you've watched our videos for long enough, you know that we like to take an unbiased look at cases and present all possible explanations. So here are 3 of the leading theories in this case. Theory? No. 1. She faked her own death. We already discussed this theory, but let's elaborate. During her college years, Murray experienced bouts of depression and even attempted suicide twice. Could it be possible that she got overwhelmed with her problems and tried to escape? This could explain why she vanished without a trace. Even today, she has no bank account and no social media presence. It's like she disappeared off the face of the earth. If she is alive, she would be 39 years old now. Theory? No. 2. Foul play. Since 2004, detectives have followed hundreds of leads regarding Morris's disappearance. Unfortunately, none of them have led to anything. They do have a few people of interest, but none of them have ever been charged. This includes William G. Badger. In 2005, police searched Badger's property and found several items belonging to Maurice. His wife's DNA was also found under Morris's fingernails. But despite these findings, he was never formally accused of kidnapping or harming her. After his arrest, the public found out that he had been convicted of raping a woman in 1984. Although he was released after serving 9 years, he was considered a potential suspect. Badger himself admitted to being a drug dealer and having connections to bikers, which could have played a role in Maurice's disappearance. The problem was that Badger passed away in 2015, and with him, many answers. Theory no. 3. The mystery remains unsolved. Like we mentioned earlier, Maurice may have simply vanished on her own. She was struggling financially and personally. Perhaps she decided to start a new life elsewhere. Considering she had no criminal record, she could have easily changed her identity and gotten away with it. This explains why she left her valuables behind and why she hasn't used her phone or bank account since her disappearance. However, it does bring up a question. If she wanted to start a new life, why did she stop at New Hampshire? Why didn't she keep going? As you can see, each theory presents its own set of problems, and that's why this case remains open. Even today, Maurice's family continues searching for her. They host an annual fundraiser in her honor, and they urge anyone with information to come forward. Every year, they hold on to hope that they will finally get answers. Yet the longer time passes, the harder it becomes to find their missing loved one. Many other similar cases highlight the ambiguity of human nature. For example, in 2016, parents Peter and Lisa went missing along with their 2 children. Their car was found abandoned on a bridge, but there was no sign of the family anywhere. Surveillance footage showed them entering a hotel on November 13, 2015, but no one has seen them since. The biggest twist: they were reported missing by their babysitter. Apparently, Peter had asked her to watch the kids so he and his wife could run errands. But instead of returning home, they disappeared. The case is currently still being investigated, but it's likely that the parents kidnapped their own children and ran away. Why else would they disappear without a trace? And why would they leave their babysitter confused? Of course, this happens less often than you might think. Most missing person cases end in tragedy. For instance, in the winter of 1976, 5 members of the Broberg family vanished from Idaho. Robert Broberg and his wife, along with their children, were never seen again. The only thing left behind was a pile of dirt and some tire tracks. The case was never solved, and to this day, no one knows what happened to the Brobergs. When a disappearance hits too close to home, it's natural to worry about our own safety. But even when all the evidence points to foul play, justice is hard to come by. Just ask the family of Annie She was an exchange student who vanished from Ireland in 1993. Witnesses claimed they saw her enter a car with a group of strangers. But after that, there was nothing. No body, no grave, no evidence. Over the years, 2,000 people were questioned, but nobody had any new information. Eventually, the case went cold. 28 years later, a podcast brought new attention to the case. It highlighted inconsistencies in the original investigation and uncovered new clues. Police re-interviewed witnesses and launched a new search for Anne, but they never found her remains. In fact, she still remains missing. And in cases like these, there isn't much more that police can do. So what can we learn from stories like these? Well, each case is unique and cannot be generalized. However, they do highlight the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. In the blink of an eye, everything can change. That S. Why S? Important to tell your loved ones that you love them and to live life to the fullest. After all, none of us know how much time we have.